What's up, everyone? Welcome to the FA Podcast. Happy Football Friday. Got my DC Defenders shirt on. Championship celebration tomorrow down in DC at the Wharf. If you're in the area, make sure you check that out. Just me today, so I'm going to roll through. There's actually quite a bit of news for once this off season here. First off, college football news. BYU quarterback Jake Retzlaff has withdrawn from BYU. The Cougars would not allow him to enter the transfer portal after the rape allegations were subsequently dismissed. So he has withdrawn from BYU, seeking another school to play at this season. We'll see where he ends up. UFL news, the Birmingham Stallions, they had their ring revealed. Their 2024 championship ring was revealed, and it looks pretty solid. The videos. The videos, I think, were a lot better on Twitter, but that's the USFL champion. This one right here is the UFL championship ring. And it's studded. They got a lot of pictures of the USFL rings here. Here's no, it's still the USFL. But yeah, that first picture that I showed was the UFL championship rings. This is the USFL. I don't know why they keep showing these when I clearly typed in UFL. But anyways, go check that out on the Stallions page. They are quite a sight to see there. The Michigan Panthers, they re-signed quarterback Rocky Lombardi, offensive tackle Chin Okorafor, offensive tackle Cam Carter, guard Victor Kern, guard Cole Cabral, defensive tackle TJ Carter, and corner Kedrick Whitehead. Whitehead and Cabral, all UFL players, I believe. But a lot of those guys definitely in contention, starters next year. Rocky Lombardi, interesting to see if he will compete for the starting job in 2026 or not. For the Roughnecks, they started their re-signing all season, signing incumbent, likely 26 starter quarterback Jalen McClendon, wide receivers Justin Hall and Emmanuel Butler, linebacker JT Tyler, and safety Markel Roby. So those are all guys that should be key contributors next season for the Houston Roughnecks. NFL news, the Bears, they signed GM Ryan Poles to an extension through 2029. His contract now matches up with new head coach Ben Johnson. So some continuity going forward in Chicago for years to come as Caleb Williams enters the last couple of seasons of his rookie deal. Commanders, a couple of uniform updates here. The Commanders, they unveiled their Super Bowl era jerseys and uniforms there. So this is what they look like. I didn't really see a big difference. I understand the throw. There's a good one. There's the throwback to Doug Williams. You got the side sleeves, the two colors on the side sleeves there. You got the down the sides. So I guess I do see it. The helmet as well. You got the stripes down there. It was just hard to see with the different logo, obviously. But it's definitely interesting. And then one other thing to note, the Saints unveiled white helmets that they will be wearing this year. And I like them. I kind of they're pretty fresh. Which NFL team is the best white alternate helmet? Um, the Saints might have a good case. I love the Bengals. Just the straight black and white is really solid. Um, the Jags I don't really like. The Vikings white ice is pretty solid. Not really a fan of the Broncos. The Packers ones look good, and the Browns are okay. But yeah, I think the Bengals might have. The Saints have a good good case there for best white helmet in the league. I think, anyways. We'll see. Big time injury in the NFC South. Buccaneers left tackle Tristan Wirfs underwent arthroscopic knee surgery. He is likely to start the season on the physically unable to perform list, the PUP list. Not sure how long Wirfs will be out, but big time deal there. Charlie Heck likely to step in at left tackle. They signed him from the 49ers this offseason. So that is probably going to be your left tackle for the Bucks to begin the year. Also, another injury, Chargers running back Najee Harris involved in a fireworks incident July 4th. He injured his eye. Expected to be ready for the season, though, his agent saying. All right, let's get to our AFC South season preview. So, pretty much just doing records here. The starting off with the Titans. We already did all the offseason movement, talked about all the offseason, the drafts. Hopefully, everyone saw our draft grades on Instagram today. I posted all those on our story and in a main post as well. So make sure you check those out. A lot of interesting grades between Jimmy and I, mostly on the same page, but some definitely not. We're going to go to Titans first. Still kind of going in draft order and reverse standings of how they ended up last year. So the Titans ended with the number 1 overall pick, 3-14 last year. Week 1 at the Broncos, I have that as a loss. Week 2 against the Rams, loss. Home against the Colts is a loss. At the Texans, loss. At the Cardinals, loss. At the Raiders, loss. 3 straight away. That's tough. Home against the Patriots, loss. I do have them winning. At the Colts, week 8 for a split there. Week 9, they come home, face the Chargers. That is a loss. Going into the bye, 1-8. I just do not believe in this team. They don't have enough offensive firepower. I don't think they have good running backs, but I don't think they have the receivers even out, with Calvin Ridley. I don't know. And it's a rookie quarterback, tough schedule. I think the AFC South has a difficult schedule. So I did not grade, and most of the schedules, the records highly for any of the AFC South teams. Coming out of the bye, though, they win 2. Home against the Texans, home against the Seahawks. John's going to kill me. I think they sneak one in Tennessee, potentially. We'll see. Home against the Jags is a loss. At the Browns is a loss. I know a lot of people are down on Cleveland. However, they do still have Jim Schwartz, who's the reigning assistant coach of the year. And or not the reigning. No, he win last year? I can't remember. But regardless, that defense in Cleveland still very stout, still very solid. So I think that's what gives the Browns the win in that one. At the 49ers is a loss. Home against the Chiefs is a loss. They win 2 to end the season on a high note. Home against the Saints at the Jags. So I have them 5-12, 3-3 in division there for Tennessee. 2-win improvement for the Titans in Cam Ward's first season. The Jags are next up, 4-13. Last season finished third in the division. It does not start off easy for them either. I have them starting 0-7. Same thing I did with the Titans. Home against the Panthers. Yes, the Panthers will go to Jacksonville week 1 and win. At the Bengals is a loss. Home against the Texans, lose. At the 49ers, loss. Home against the Chiefs, Monday Night Football, loss. Home against the Seahawks, loss. They get a home game against the Rams in London. That is a loss. Week 8 bye. Again, 0-7 for new coach Liam Cohen. At the Raiders, win. At the Texans is a win. Loss at home against the Chargers. They win on the road in Arizona. Win at the Titans. Win at home against the Colts. Loss against the Jets. Loss at the Broncos. Loss at the Colts. And loss at home against the Titans. So it's not a lot of losses for Jacksonville. And I don't know. Liam Cohen, I think, should be a solid coach. But again, this defense concerns me, especially in the secondary. I know Travis Hunter is going to be playing both ways, but they don't have a ton of other guys I trust in the secondary. Jerry and Jones, year 2. Tyson Campbell's been solid. But this defense has a long way to go. And the offense, I think, is going to take a step back a little bit, maybe. Trevor Lawrence has to prove like he's the guy, and this offensive line has to protect him. Robert Hainsey, Patrick McCarry, new starters there. Ezra Cleveland, year 2 there in Jacksonville, and the tackles are the tackles, Little and Harrison there. So we'll see. I think the Jags are probably going to overperform my output here, but 5-12, 3-3, just like the Titans. And they split. I would say that the Titans don't win. I don't have the Titans winning any other AFC games. I do have the Jags winning one other AFC game. So the Jags would finish third over the Titans because of conference record there. Third team in the division, Colts, just missed the playoffs last year, 8-9. I do not have this team being very good. I know their defense is decent. New defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo. They got some new players on in the draft. They also got Tyler Warren in the draft as well. But I don't trust the quarterbacks. That's the biggest issue. Daniel Jones, Anthony Richardson, I don't trust it. I think this team should, and it's a tough schedule. These teams having to play the NFC and the AFC West this year, plus to get cross-divisional games with the NFC South. The AFC East and the AFC North. So, and it really doesn't benefit many people except maybe the Titans playing that fourth place schedule. But I don't like the Colts schedule at all. Home against the Dolphins, I do have them winning. That could be up for debate, maybe. Loss at home against the Broncos. They win at the Titans, so it's a good start. 2-1. Colts are feeling good, and then it stops. It's a long losing streak until their next win. At the Rams, loss. Home against the Raiders, loss. Home against the Cardinals, loss. At the Chargers, loss. Home against the Titans, loss. At the Steelers, loss. Win it in a home game in Berlin, which I think also could flip, depending on how the Falcons are. But I think the Colts just win that one somehow. Week 11 bye. They are 3-7. Shane Steichen's probably feeling pretty cozy there. At the Chiefs, loss. Week 12, home against the Texans, loss. At the Jags, loss. At the Seahawks, loss. Home against the 49ers, Monday Night Football, loss. Home against the Jags, they do win that one, and then they lose in Houston to end it. So, yeah. 4-13 for me for the Colts. 2-4 in division. They finished last per me. So that puts the Titans into third and the Jags into second, because I have the Houston Texans repeating as AFC South champions, albeit not in the manner that you might think. The Colts, by the way, that would be a 4-loss regression. The Jags have a 1-win improvement there. Texans, I have a 2-loss. My bad. I have a 3-win regression, which would be absolutely wild. The first team ever to have 10 losses in playoff history, I would believe. At the Rams, week 1 is a loss. They host the Bucs on Monday Night Football. That is a loss. At the Jags, they win, and they win at home against the Titans. They lose in Baltimore. Week 6 bye, they're going in 2-3. At the Seahawks, Monday Night Football, they win that one. They lose at home against the 49ers and the Broncos. They lose at home against the Jags. They lose in Nashville against the Titans. They lose at home against the Bills Thursday Night Football. They win at the Colts. They lose at the Chiefs Sunday Night Football. Win at home against the Cards. Home against the Raiders. They lose at the Chargers on a Saturday, and they win at home against the Colts. 7-10, 4-2. The Texans are your AFC South division champions at 7-10. I mean, that's just mind-blowing stuff there. It's the schedule. It really is. This team has multiple concerns on the offensive line as well as the defense. These teams should be better, I think, potentially, but yeah, I don't know. We will see if they can do better. I think the Texans will. The Texans probably be closer to 500 than that. The other 3 teams, I don't know. The Jags are probably the team that would win more than I predicted, but the Colts probably too, maybe. We'll see. I don't know. I just think it's a weird division, and it might be the worst one in the league. That was always the NFC South for the longest time, NFC least for years. A lot of people had, but I don't know. I think it's potentially the AFC South this year. Next week, we'll be back on Friday. On Monday, we're talking the NFC East. And then next Friday, we'll be talking the AFC East. Training camp week 3. We'll have training camp in full force. AFC East preview there. We get to all the records as well as more analysis on fantasy and whatnot. So don't forget to check us out on all our social media at FAA Podcast, Instagram and X, FAA_bets on X as well. FAApodcast.com is our website. Check us out here on YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram, as well as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. And we'll see y'all back on Monday.